Hello and welcome to 5 and 5, where we take 5 minutes to ask industry leaders questions on one of 5 topics chosen at random. And today we have Jonathan Schiff with us today. Jonathan is the founder of Gnômadic. Thank you for joining us, Jonathan.
Definitely. Thank you, Natasha, for having me.
Absolute pleasure. So are you ready to spin the spinning wheel of categories?
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's see
Let's
what
find
happens.
out what we're going to talk about today. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
Oh,
could you read what that is?
is that memories? Yeah, it looks like it's on memories.
It's on memories. Okay.
This could be interesting. Let's see what happens.
Jonathan,
Yes.
you are, we were discussing earlier, you are a serial entrepreneur. You've started a few different companies.
Mhm.
What is the most memorable campaign you've worked on and why?
Um, oh, this one would be interesting. So as I mentioned earlier, I was born and raised in Las Vegas, and then I moved back. I moved back. I lived in China in the late '90s, and then I moved back to Vegas in 2002, and that was kind of at the height of the condo craze. So I was working with a big company out of New York. God, I haven't told this story in a while. Called the Related Companies, and for example, one of my mentors just finished something called Hudson Yards, which is enormous. The other mentor runs Silverstein, which built the Freedom Tower. And at the time, everybody was like building crazy condo, hotel, casino projects in the US. And so we acquired a piece of land, and we were going to do a deal called Las Ramblas based upon the famous walkway in Barcelona, Spain. And for the casino component, we actually ended up getting the Gerber brothers, Randy Gerber and his brother Scott, who run a bunch of nightclubs. Randy's married to Cindy Crawford,
Yeah.
and their best friends happen to be like George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon. And so, Matt Damon's, he's an actor, and he's like the most like laid back, down to earth, like amazing good actor. So he pretty much dropped out of the hype pretty quickly. I think Brad Pitt was working on something, but basically Randy and George Clooney got involved for a while. And there's even, if you look it up, Las Ramblas, Las Vegas, I'm sure there's some advertisements out there.
Wow.
But it was just really interesting because it was kind of the height of the condo craziness in Las Vegas.
Hmm.
And a credit to our chairman, two gentlemen, one Steve Ross, who's in New York, and another one George Perez in Miami. We ended up pulling the project and selling all the land in 2005, and that was about 6 to 12 months prior to the entire like meltdown in
Right.
condos and the real estate and this and that. So it was a fun, interesting project that actually never happened, but it was just cool to hang out with those guys and build all these models and
Yeah,
see all this stuff. And that was just a really crazy time. And
I can
there
imagine.
were some pretty interesting like developments that came out of that period that actually did go up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jonathan, what is the best advice you've ever been given?
Um, the best advice I've ever been given. Well, actually, it's funny. One of my mentors, I went into him and he said, "Listen, if you're gonna come work for me, you're gonna have to start making decisions." And he's like, "If you make one wrong decision, I'll support you. If you make 20 wrong decisions, I'll probably fire you. But if you don't want to make any decisions, then don't even walk in the front door." But that basically taught me that sometimes you just have to go out, try something, iterate. I mean, like he said, try not to make 20 wrong decisions, but
Yeah,
things are going to happen every day. And
of
I
course.
literally every day I probably do something that's wrong. I go to bed, I wake up the next morning, I start all over again. And, after a while, you just progress and something happens.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree with that. It's better to make a decision than to sit umming and ahhing and not do anything. Fantastic. What if you were to look back at your 20-year-old self, what would you tell yourself? What advice would you give yourself?
Well, there's probably a couple girls I wouldn't have dated. That would be a good start. And I'm sure my wife would very much agree with that one. I think that, just don't question myself or my
Mm,
direction or, as much self-doubt that was out there. Yeah, that was something that has been very difficult to deal with. And actually, I know we were talking about what's been happening in the age of COVID, if you will. And over the past, 8, 9, 12 months, I spent a lot of time meditating, um, journaling, just, I go do Reiki, I stretch, I run. I mean, all these things together. And I've just done this journey inside of myself and just letting go of these like doubts and tensions and fears and just say, hey, I'm blessed where I am in life and I'm happy with it and just keep moving forward.
that's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
And I know you've got a couple of kids. So what?
Yeah, who haven't barged in yet, thankfully.
Not yet. Jonathan, what is your favorite childhood memory?
Um, it's not a specific moment, it's just a feeling. This is funny. I was talking to some friends about this the other day. And I just had a very simple childhood. I actually growing up in Las Vegas, you wouldn't think that, but like when I was a kid, I just remember, we would leave the house early in the morning on a Saturday, my friends and I, we'd go ride our bikes all day. And we just would go around, ride our bikes, have little adventures, sometimes go swimming, especially if it was the summer. But it was just like the
Idyllic.
simplicity of the whole thing. I mean, it's not a very specific memory, but it's just a feeling from that period of my life that was really special.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
All right, last question.
Okay.
What is
Easy.
on your bucket list of memories? Is there something that a memory that you are looking forward to creating?
You know, actually, I guess what I'd like to do. So when I got married, my wife and my wife is from Macau, um, outside of Hong Kong. So, we quote unquote had like a smallish wedding, which, for a Chinese wedding was maybe like 500 people. And I want to say maybe 2 or 3 months, and it was definitely a wedding for our families more than us. And I would say maybe 2 or 3 months before the wedding, we were like, should we just cancel this and go somewhere? So I think something that would be really, really cool. And I mentioned this to her once, but if we went somewhere and we took our 3 kids and we just went somewhere really beautiful and romantic and just renewed our vows, I think that would be
Oh,
super cool.
that
Yeah.
would be awesome. I love
Yeah,
that.
that would be nice. That would be nice.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure talking to you, Jonathan.
Oh, thank you. That was great. Thank you so much.
And hopefully we'll speak again soon. This
Okay, definitely.
this has been 5 and 5.